Warning, this is a random episode. Some hypothetical topics asked and or discussed may not be suitable for all listeners. Viewer discretion is advised. Get out of here.
Back to the gross questions. Back to the raunchy ones. I don't like to be topical on the show, but this is not topical. Just because there's a topical person in this question doesn't mean it's topical. Would you rather go permanently blind, half deaf, and lose your right leg, or lick Donald Trump's ass? There.
That is one of the hardest questions I've ever. Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's weird because like
he's a figure, and I'm sorry, it's
nothing. One of the reasons I said I live in Arizona is because it's a weird place to live because we have like an equal influx. Like we are a purple state, as purple as it gets. So I am like exposed to a lot of opinions here. But the one thing I will say is that I've always thought he's got a really like.
Hello everyone, welcome to 1000 Crazy Questions, the podcast. I'm your currently sane host, Houston Pierce. This is a podcast where we have on at least one guest a week and ask some series of crazy would you rather questions. We get into the psyche of our guests, explore topics and questions that maybe should not have been explored.
Okay, let's get into the episode this week. This week we have with us novelist, filmmaker, musician, and podcaster. You can find him on his podcast, Coffin Talk. Please welcome the eclectic Mike Oppenheim. Mike, if you want to introduce yourself to the listeners a bit and, explain yourself to those... Introduce yourself to the people who may not know you yet.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Mike Oppenheim. I'm a super friendly 43-year-old living in Phoenix, Arizona. I am not from here. I hopefully will not die here, but I am definitely living here, and it's an interesting place. But one of the things I've been doing my whole life is just observing humans and interacting, and it's my favorite thing in the world. And so I've slowly but surely built a career out of it. And I make movies, I write novels, I do nonfiction essays, I host a podcast. Everything's available on my website. But the reason I bring this up is that I really didn't used to feel good about the fact that I did so many different things, because I would have people tell me like, you got to put all your engine, all your energy into one thing. But now that I'm in my 40s and just doing it all still, I'm very happy that I did it this way. I like doing everything. I like interacting with people just so much. And I feel like every day as people say our cultures are unraveling, I find the best way to cure that feeling is just to keep meeting people and realize that no, that's not really true. Like there's a lot of great humans out there. So I hope by the end of this interview, you consider me at least a not terrible human being.
Already done. Yeah, actually, in a way, I look up to you because I'm being told that you gotta pick a thing, and like I understand that to a degree they are right. You have to pick something to get better at it. But in terms of interest, I have all the there's a lot of stuff I want to do. There's a lot of stuff I don't get the whole you have to fit into a faction type deal. I think to use a bad example, Divergent, the book series and film series did this with everyone goes into a certain camp deal and you have to be a certain, and that was, I say bad example because I thought it was a pretty dumb book series. So no offense to anyone who likes it, sorry. I just think it's very obvious that people aren't built to be in one thing. But subconsciously as a society, we've more or less have accepted the truth of, hey, if you're good at math, stick to that. Be that engineer. Hey, if you're good at cooking, you better stick to being that chef. Hey, if you're good at this, you better stick to being that this. And just kind of people are naturally stuck. And that's the kind of way we just kind of have people. You don't really see a lot of Renaissance men, so to speak, anymore. If like Da Vinci was, he was a painter and inventor, like those people back in the day were kind of allowed to do whatever they wanted to do. And nowadays in modern society, it's like, either get in a cube and be good at this thing, or just put all of your eggs into this acting basket. And like, if never shall the two cross, I guess. It's kind of just, yeah.
I agree. And, it's weird because you reminded me of like when I was a kid, there were a lot of athletes who did crossover. There was like Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, also very famous. But there were more than even just those two. And the point I'm making is I agree with you. There used to just be this like, even within the game, like there'd be someone who maybe could play wide receiver and running back, and like just people were like skill sets and stuff. And now we have this like specialization. And I brought sports because it just came to mind, but it really is true in every sector now that like, and I kind of feel bad for kids because I would not have liked that as a child. If they had said like, oh, you're good at this, take this one elective from 4th grade on. But, we had
Yeah.
like every elective all the way till high school, and you got to just pick whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And that's not to that one listener that's like, well, I like this thing. I know I want to do this. Okay, fine. Being specialized is great. We need specialists in areas, and there are people just born to do things, I think. But, for the people who like to do more than one thing and to keep excel at one thing and suck at everything, but they want to do both, power to them. Yeah, I mean, obviously you have to do what's practical within your life, but yeah, yeah.
I agree. And I think it's interesting because when you talk about the word practical, that also just gets my brain exploding, because I do that's the hardest part of getting older for me, that when I was young, I didn't see coming, is embracing practicality because it's practical. Like it sounds lame, boring, and all that, but like a life of no practicality is impractical, for lack of a better word. And as most people see in your 30s, you'll see people start to drop like flies who weren't like making practical decisions, and then it can even get awkward because you love them and you care about them, but you also realize like, well, while you were not paying attention to that, I was, and now we're in a different place. So I would like caution younger people, like don't become super practical when you're 18. Well, unless that suits you, but also like give some flow to that, because I think that's a great word to use.
Yeah, yeah. To the flip of that, because as you were saying that, the reverse, I
Yeah.
know people, me kind of, and I'm putting myself in this box too, who were like very practical from the beginning and will not like, hey, what about that thing you had a passion to do? I had to give up on it. And then like you should, and like practicality will sometimes get in the way. I'm not saying you should defy all logic because, bills need to be paid, but at the same time, if you truly let something go, then you're truly letting it go, and that's something that you really fight for as much as you possibly can. And even if you are taking risks, obviously there's calculated risk, but yeah. So yeah, there's that, just to counter to what you're saying, but yeah, it's both are true. I truly believe what you're saying, but yeah, I know people on the opposite end of the spectrum who are very practical, who will not take risks into what they want to do.
No, you're totally right. And they have regrets as they get into their 40s and 50s. You're exactly right. There's like a brake and a gas, and it's just all about like applying both
Yeah.
as needed. You're totally right. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's been like life situations and what's available and everything like that. But yeah. Hey, audience, real quick, here are the rules of the game. There are 2 rules to this game/conversation. Rule number 1, you must always answer the question no matter what. If you honestly have no preference towards one or the other, you say the phrase, flip a coin, and we move on. Rule number 2, whoever asks the question doesn't have to answer it if they choose not to. These rules exist because as questions become harder to answer, these rules become harder to follow. This week, we have a red band episode, so the questions asked and topics discussed may not be that family friendly. If you have sensitive ears or something like that, go to find a blue episode. They're just as informative, interesting, and funny, I swear. Otherwise, stay right here. And Mike, just want to remind you, if you have any questions for me, you're never interrupting. We go back and forth. It's a conversational podcast. Quick but important disclaimer to the listeners: everything is hypothetical. If you're offended by this episode, sorry. You can at me. I may or may not answer. I probably won't. I might. Maybe, I don't know, but you chose to listen to this. Everything we say is hypothetical and for entertainment purposes or discussion value, period. I say it every week, but every week it's true. And lastly, before we begin, Mike, is there anything you'd like to ask or declare? Are there any inherent mental biases you may have?
Yeah, as I get older, I realize that I'm just kind of biased to think that entertainment was hitting its peak in the 90s and 2000s, and I try very hard to like modern, especially music, but I find it harder and harder as I get older, and I can't figure out if I'm the old fogey on a lawn or if it's actually getting worse. So that would be one bias I'm starting to get aware of.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I appreciate that, because that helps people know, like, okay, this is where he's that guy. He's one of those. In a way, I actually agree with you a little bit on music.
Yeah, just music is what I brought up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. If we're talking overall media,
no, like movies and stuff. Like I have no issue. It's really music. I just feel like you know what it is? It's more about mainstream music. That's what I would say. Like individual musicians are doing amazing things all over the place, but like what the like big, clear channel is like feeding us, in my opinion, has gotten worse. Like I feel like better, more interesting people used to get contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Actually, anyone listening to this, email me, message me, comment wherever this is found if you disagree with that, because I think that's true. I think even people like nowadays, like Generation Alpha or whatever it's called, the made up generation, agrees with that. Generations are made up. Anyway, sorry.
Yes, totally, totally.
First question, would you rather be able to fly when you're happy, like Peter Pan style, or get 3 free performance cars?
Definitely fly. I mean, that's like my ultimate dream. For
Ew.
my birthday, my wife even got me a solo pilot thing last year. It's like my total dream, flying.
Cool. Like a pilot simulator thing?
No. She bought me like a package where I went up in a plane with a pilot, and he let me actually pilot it. I didn't land it, but I got to help take off, and I got to actually fly it, and it was like, I mean, just life changing. I don't have the money to do like the full pilot's license yet because I have 2 kids, but the second they're out of the house, I'm doing it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't even know they did that. That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
It was the best birthday gift I've ever gotten in my life.
Yeah, I'm jealous. It sounds like it. It sounds like yeah. It's one of those things where like I think everyone wants. I think well I shouldn't generalize, but I would really want to fly a plane. It's just sort of this. It's a lot of money and effort. I think you really have to have a passion to chase that, and yeah, it's very expensive, but it's definitely it's so cool. Yeah. Would you rather fly? I'm curious, a helicopter or a plane? By the way, if you had to like.
Definitely a plane, but I do listen to Bill Burr, the comedian, talk about piloting a helicopter sometimes, and he has slowly convinced me that it's not the most psychotic, dangerous thing in the world. You apparently can glide them if the blades go out and stuff. So I, as a kid, just thought if the engine went out, you just plummet. Whereas a plane, you can totally land a plane when the engines have failed. Like, it's definitely possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the plummeting thing. That's a very good point. The only reason helicopters gets an edge for me is because you can land it anywhere and it's smaller. It's just like straight down. It's louder, but it's like you just need a little pad. You don't need a giant runway. Versus like you can't really do that with the plane every time. If there's like if you're not over water, if there's not like you might run over something. Who knows what? But yeah.
I think you're right, and I think there's way less fatalities in helicopters actually.
Less people.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, no, it's cool. The cars don't sway you at all, by the way. Three free.
No, it's just like I love driving and I love cars, but I will drive like any car. It's about the performance of it. So I do like that, but flying is just next level to me. I'm flying cars. There we go. That's what I want.
Oh, yeah, almost. We're not there yet. All right. I'll put the 3 performance cars back. We're not going to ship them to your house just yet, but good to know. Get that fairy dust sent over to you as soon as we can. Next question. Would you rather live on the moon for a year alone, or have to tell everyone in your life how you truly currently feel about them constantly? Everyone you meet in your life.
This is a very good question for my personality. I am able to be alone more than any human I've ever met in my life, and I even took some psychological profile on the internet as like a joke, and it literally said you're in the 1% of humans who are actually able to live alone. I don't know why. Meanwhile, I sort of do tell everyone what I think of them all the time. I'm not a mean person. It's the opposite. I have like a huge effusive heart, and I have a problem complimenting. And like I had an old friend once tell me, I think you just compliment me to like make me feel good. And I had to like really explain to her, like, no, I just actually love people, and I see like so much goodness in most people, not everyone, I'm not gonna lie. But so yeah, they both actually sound fine to me. I would choose the staying on Earth one because I have 2 kids, and missing my kids for a year would just be, I couldn't do it.
Wow. Well answered. Also, what the heck? Whoa, I didn't know you're gonna blow up the question like that.
What about you? I actually want to throw it back to you.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, okay, I am truthful with people, but the whole truth is something that's different. I can't. If I told everyone exactly what I felt about them, I'm like, oh, well, that's mean. Like, well, I don't know. Like, I even have a tendency to have my foot in my mouth a lot, where I'll say something like I didn't think was, I didn't think about it. I didn't fully think about it, and I'll find out, that was actually, I shouldn't have said that. So this podcast is actually a weird outlet for me.
Yeah.
For me to talk to people in a sort of sideways weird manner of like, well, what would you do with this? But to tell people what I think about them constantly, I don't know if I could. I don't know. I just can't see it being sustainable.
Yeah.
Just
It sounds hard. It does sound hard.
Yeah. I don't think I can do that. The moon. I think I picked the moon. because it's a year and I can be alone. I don't know if I haven't gone that far, that long, like a year. I definitely feel it. I definitely be sad, but during like the pandemic, for instance, when everyone was like, "Oh no, what am I gonna do with my life? I can't see people," whatever. It was kind of like I see them on Zoom. They're on Instagram. Like they're everywhere. Like I see their faces constantly. I don't, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I'm with
like
you.
I see you on a screen. That's fine enough for me. And like I know this will end. If I knew like for sure I was gonna come back at the end of a year, I'll take the moon. Also, I'll be known as the man on the moon who lived there for a year.
Yeah,
Bring it on. Yeah. So I think I picked that one.
that's cool. The
Yeah.
press tour returning would be awesome. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll do it. Yeah. Give me a year in solitude. Give me a vacation. A really crappy vacation, but a vacation. Um, okay. This next one is a little raunchy. Warning. Uh, yeah, and I have to repeat it because of course I do. Would you rather be able to control the size of your penis or be able to play any instrument you pick up?
I love that question. I kind of can play any instrument I pick up. I play like 7 instruments, and I'm good enough now
What?
that I can dabble. Yeah, so I got it. I got it. I think even if I couldn't, I would go with the penis one though. And this is where I'm gonna make it even raunchier. As a kid, that would have been so fun. Like in locker rooms, and like I mean, it just would have like imagine like you're like a little kid and like a babysitter like in an appropriate situation is like helping you change or something, and they just see you with like this man's.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, so as a prank too, like not just for the like obvious ego and women and stuff, but like actually for 3 reasons I would choose that. But the instrument one is alluring. It is alluring. Yeah.
Got it. I have to ask, have you seen the show The Boys?
I am dying to watch it. No, and I've heard
Okay.
amazing things. Is it worth it? Is it good?
Complicated,
Oh,
complicated,
yeah,
complicated
yeah.
here. Okay, it is good, and for maybe the first, I'd say 2, 3 seasons, but you have to be willing, at least in my opinion, to undergo trauma. You have to be willing to get like mentally punched in the guts and slapped in the face and then spit on and walked over. The show is very, and I maybe it's just my baby sensibilities, but it does things with superheroes that you probably shouldn't do, and that's why you don't like the show. That I'm not spoiling anything by telling you this, that the pilot episode has someone being murdered within like the first 5 minutes in a very gruesome fashion. Like there's a speedster character and he runs over somebody, and in real life the Flash runs, well, not real life, but in comics the Flash is like this is the counterpart to this character. He runs through town, no one dies. He runs through buildings and dodges people. In this show, they have a speedster like character who runs into a person and completely just eviscerates them, and like it's that's episode 1. So, and they do some horrid things with superpowers, and I do mean horrid. And so and the writing is pretty good, but there's some shock value, and things like they like shocking you, and I don't like shock value that much. I mean, it can be good, it can be bad. So it's The Boys is like you gotta take the good with the bad, and lately it's been declining. But if you jump on the train, you'll see why everyone's stating why it gets so much praise, because it does have good ideas behind it and good writers. But the longer it goes, the more you're like, at least for me. And then they just start shocking for shock's sake, and there's less and less meaning behind the show. I brought it up because there's a character like Mr. Fantastic, and yeah, I think you know where this is going, because there's an episode called Hero Chasm, and I wonder if you know what that means, but or whether you can guess what that's about. But anyway, there's like this whole superhero annual orgy type deal that they do, and of course this deviant Mr. Fantastic is there, and there's you open up the door, and like a piece of this man comes up and answers the door, and it's like, oh, it's just disturbing what they do with this guy. And what was my point? Oh yeah, okay. If you
No,
could
no, it's
control
good.
the
You're right.
size,
Yeah, yeah.
if you control the size of your penis, I don't know. Like, would you how if you can Mr. Fantastic it essentially, would you would you do that with it? Would you like snake it up to people? And because that's what this guy does. It was so disturbing,
Yeah.
and it's funny in the sense of like the childish sense, but as an adult, it just becomes But yeah.
Yeah, no, most of the reason I said that one was actually all childhood memories. It was like almost nothing as an adult, to be honest. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm with you.
Okay. I think I picked the instrument one. Maybe it's because I just seen The Boys and I know where that can go, and it's disturbing. I like to play instruments like too. I play two and a half, three. Does the didgeridoo count as an instrument?
I think so. Can you make it sound like a tune? I mean, do you have like an ability to like? Yeah, then I would say yes. Yeah,
I could do three different notes.
yeah. If it has notes, I would say it's an
Notes.
instrument.
Quote big quotes on notes, but yeah. Okay,
Hot
then I
cross
could play.
buns.
Yeah, three and a half instruments, I guess. But yeah.
What's a
Oh
half?
man,
Or is that
half
the half?
half is harmonica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Harmonica's
because
fun. I like
it
that.
is. Yeah, I just can't like I can play a tune, but I can't play a recognizable one. At least not easily. Yeah, no matter how much I practice. Yeah, but piano, trumpet, learning guitar, didgeridoo. Yeah, yeah, and harmonica.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
You're on
and
your way.
I don't think what's it called? Tambourine counts.
No, that's the one you give to like the kid in the family who doesn't have any music talent when the other people do. That's like you're like, here you go, and then you try
Yeah.
to get them to do it quietly.
Yeah, what are those instruments? Like those like half instruments. I don't know, tambourines, maracas, those clappers. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, totally.
yeah. Next, speaking of music, or maybe not even, but what is your favorite fictional mode of transportation?
Fictional mode. It's a
Like
good, really
seen
good
in a
question.
movie or in a book?
Yeah. Okay, it's a book I've read that isn't published because I run a writing group locally, and this
Hmm.
woman is writing this amazing story about this girl who has these really weird memories of her mom telling her constantly that like she's a space alien and she dies of schizophrenia, or she dies and has schizophrenia, and then when she's cleaning out her house, she finds a portal and she goes swimming through it and then swims out into another world. And that concept I would give as the answer to this. Like the idea of like if you could just like dive into a lagoon and then when you come out of like the lagoon you're in like China, or in this case it was another planet, but that sounds cool, like portals kind of. So like not teleportation, but
Yeah.
like just this like portal idea. That just sounds fun to me.
God, that reminds me of Stranger Things. Or Stranger
Yeah,
Things
yeah.
season, I think 4. I think we're on 4 right now, and 5 hasn't come out just yet. But they're in a lake, and she swims down to the bottom of the lake, and she comes up in the upside down. Yeah, it's very like reminiscent of Friday. No, 15th, Friday the 13th. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jason Camp Crystal Lake thing because of how
Uh-huh.
creepy the location is. Yeah, everything
Yeah.
is an homage to something else. Dang,
Yeah.
sorry, but
No, that's
yeah,
postmodernism. That is happening for sure. It is crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good answer. Like portaling sort of
Yeah,
into places.
portaling.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say, do you remember I don't know if you do you remember, I don't know if you saw Meet the Robinsons?
No.
It's like a Disney movie.
Yeah,
Uh
I've seen
Early
it.
2000s. It's like they use bubbles,
Oh, cool. I like that.
like bubble travel, and then there's
Oh,
Futurama
that
with the
sounds, yeah.
tubes. Not
Bubble
bubble.
sounds really fun, like just floating and like, yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
cool.
but then they get popped when they get to their thing and then they fall through with it. Yeah. Yeah, that's not my favorite. I think I was just listing something I was in. I think Star Trek probably has the best one to me with the beaming
Yeah,
up and everything. Yeah,
that's super cool.
of
I
course there's
agree.
that whole philosophical is it the same person argument, but as long as you come out talking the same language, I think you're fine.
Well, I say this a lot on my show, Coffin Talk, because we talk about like metaphysics and what happens when you die, and it's how do you even know when you wake up every day that this isn't the first time you've ever woken up, and then you just have fake memories of your entire life. There's like no way to prove it because even if someone tells you no, here's a photo of you, that could just be the same process. So I think about that a lot, probably too much.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's like that's the whole like how do you know you're not
Yeah,
dreaming when you actually wake up and
yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
utterly. I sometimes I'm actually thinking this is the dream, and wherever we were before here and after here is like much more of a reality. I'm especially recently. I'm starting to get that things are just like so many people can talk now that you're starting to hear how different everyone's version of reality is. It's kind of weird. Like as a kid, you got textbooks and like kind of like a mainstream message, and everyone's like, this is history, this is what, but now you're just like, oh, like you actually really think that Earth works the way you think it does, and I don't, but like I'm not angered by that. I'm like perplexed because that system works for you, and then that's how you sleep at night, and mine works for me, you know. But like now we're seeing like just something weird. I don't know if you feel that, but I do. Like,
Uh, in a way, it's more like an escalation of there's so many there's so many
escalation is
weird
the right
things
word.
going on. There's so many weird things going on, and I'm looking back on history. It's like they always thought that the world was ending. They always thought that things were getting crazier, and in a way, they were right. But I think it's just. And we can't imagine the train getting faster than it is now, but it is going to. So I think it's yeah, and I think it's just an escalation. I think the internet has put grease on everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think yeah, you're totally right, and I mean like the day is coming where you're gonna have to prove that you're a human. I mean, it's like right, you know, you have capture right now, but
yeah,
that's not even at all what I'm talking about. There's gonna be a point where like you're
yeah,
gonna have to validate to me on a Zoom call that like you're a human because we're gonna have like real issues telling and like all that. It's weird.
yeah, yeah. No, that's true, and that's actually that's a freaky thing. Yeah. Oh man. Lighter question. Speaking of death, would you rather have the best coffin in the graveyard or be able to turn off and on your shadow whenever you want to?
I have never thought about that as coolest idea ever. Turn off my shadow. That is so awesome. I can't even like that is so interesting. Oh my gosh. I've never you that is one of the most interesting thoughts I've ever thought of in like I wow. I've never even thought about that, like what that would even do for you, how you could use that. That is going to be fun to think about the rest of today.
That's well, I wanted to bring it up so I can ask, what do you do with it? I thought of it like, what the
Yeah,
heck do you
yeah.
do? What the heck do you do if you
I
can
mean,
do
like I
that?
can, like obviously, if you were trying to sneak out of something, that would be great. You know, like if they're like I can
Yeah, yeah,
like Shawshank Redemption, like a prison movie, like you know, not
yeah,
having a shadow in that case. I'm
yeah.
thinking like sneaking
I
out of your
guess
parents'
so.
house. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, but the light hits you, and they're looking at the light. They'll see the light hit you. The light somehow will bend around you and continue, so you
yeah.
don't have a shadow, but you're still being caught in light. It's just like you're not leaving a trace. It's weird. Yeah,
I thought of a cool
yeah,
one.
yeah.
You could convince someone that you weren't real. You could tell them like, well, if I'm real, how come I don't
Oh,
have a shadow? And then you could like do like bunnies against a wall and like not have a shadow puppet. And you could just be like, I'm
yeah.
telling you, like I'm not real. Like you're just seeing me. Like you could like I
Oh my
don't know if all the
God.
examples are like screwing with people, but I like
That's a
pranks, so
Yeah, that's a good one because I was thinking there's not much you can do outside of messing with people in a small
yeah,
way,
yeah.
but that's a good one. Like I'm not real or I'm a hologram. Something like that. You're dreaming. Look, I don't
Yeah.
have a shot.
Go to your
Yeah.
ATM machine.
I'm not real. Give me the money.
This is just a dream.
Yeah, they stab you. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm
Call the
faking.
hospital.
I'm faking the. This is what your mind is projecting because I would be yelling.
And you said you could turn it on and off, so you would just like turn it back on. You'd be like, take me
Yeah,
to the hospital
I'm real.
now.
I'm real. I'm real. What
Uncle.
about your shadow? No, it's real. Look, see there, there.
That's a
That's a
cool question, man. I like would love to know how and where and when you were when that just popped into your head. That's awesome. That's cool.
thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you. I have to can't capture these questions down when they come. But yeah. What was the other one? Best coffin? Do you care about your coffin at all? Is it kind of like bury me in dirt sort of deal?
No, yeah, I'm like like you can burn me, bury me, it doesn't matter. I would like I do think what I've read about it's actually good for soil and stuff to be buried just like as a dead body. Like no
Yeah.
formaldehyde. That's what I've read is that that's like a really bad thing for just like we could be helping trees and soil if we stopped using that stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, makes sense. Makes sense. Like yeah, personally, I want to be what's it called? Cremated. I think that's
yeah,
yeah. I'd rather do that. Yeah,
that
have my
sounds
ashes
great to
spread
me.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about the coffin thing. It's a fancy wood, you're just gonna bury it. But I don't know. It could be like a centerpiece or a coffee table. A coffin table. I think some people do that. Some macabre people. Yeah.
I hear like because I interview people about death a lot, so and I used to work in a hospice ward, so I have a lot of familiarity with like end of life. And weirdest things I hear over and over again is how much they upsell you at the funeral homes, that they just like make you feel bad if you go for the cheapest one. And like, they do, you know how restaurants, the second cheapest bottle of wine is actually marked up the most because the average person on a date doesn't want to buy the cheapest glass. So they buy the second cheapest. Like there's all this psychology. I used to work in restaurants. So it's the same with the funeral homes. Like the second to cheapest casket is actually marked up because they know the average person is going to say, well, I don't want to buy mom the cheapest casket, but I am broke. And this, like, who plans on $1,000 for a coffin? It's like crazy how much. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's why you have to talk about it before you die.
Yeah, totally. You really do.
Yeah,
so cremation is the way to like give your kids or anyone who has to take care of you. That's like a nice thank you to them.
Yeah. I don't even want them to take care of me. It's just like, hold on to this until you can dump it where I want to be dumped.
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
then I'm living on in memories and whatever else I'm on. But,
yeah. Totally.
Speaking of writing this death thing, by the way, it's a fun topic. Who would you want to direct your funeral if you can pick like a Hollywood director?
Dude, I love your show. Okay, the first name that came to mind, I've been on so I have 2 little kids and they've started going to sleep now finally. So my wife and I have started rewatching movies at night, and we went on a kick where we watched all of Darren Aronofsky's films. He did Pi, Requiem for a Dream, a lot of other famous films, and I've been watching more and more of them. I don't like love him, but he's so different, and his name came to mind. So I think his would be fun because I don't think anyone does what he does. So I don't know, like there'd probably be a really gorgeous woman in it. My wife, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I like that. It's a good question. What about you?
Cool. I don't know. I think I'd pick someone. Oh, dang it! I don't know. Okay. My first thought was Scorsese, but then I was like, that just for the trumpets, for the taps, for the Godfather thing.
Yeah, totally.
But that'd be too sad, I think. So I need someone to lighten it up. Can't pick a horror movie director. I can't pick Nolan's my favorite director. I can't pick him.
I was thinking of him too. That was interesting.
I couldn't. It'd be too weird and dark. I think because
out of order.
Yeah, given I've actually died, I can't do that. I need someone. Maybe Chris Columbus or Robert Zemeckis. Maybe Chris Columbus.
Zemeckis is a good one. That would be a family favorite, all ages. Everyone would like it.
Yeah, Ron Howard maybe. Well, no, not Ron Howard. No, I like Ron Howard, but not for the funeral. I stick with my Chris Columbus because I think he did. I know he did the Chamber of Secrets, the Harry Potter, the second movie, and he also did some other ones. Like he's good, like family friendly, whimsical type stuff. And I have a lot of family, and to kind of make everyone happy, I think I'd pick that. I think I'd pick him. Ron Howard's a little too quirky, suburban happy. And I want more whimsical happy, if that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know how much the whimsical package will cost me, but I can take this if you burn my ashes and and you don't get the second cheapest coffin. I think they can afford the whimsical, whimsical dark instead.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm tracking for sure.
Cool.
Honorable mention, David Lynch. I'm gonna throw that out there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Didn't he passed away just recently?
It was weird. I saw his name on like some sidebar on social media, and I was like, "What the?" And yeah.
Rest in peace, David Lynch. Yeah, if he can, who do you pick to direct his thing? Maybe himself. Anyway, but back to the gross questions, back to the raunchy ones. Would you rather? I don't like to be topical on the show, but this is not topical. Just because there's a topical person in this episode, in this question, doesn't mean it's topical. But whatever, he shows up a lot. And yes, would you rather go permanently blind, half deaf, and lose your right leg, or lick Donald Trump's ass? There.
That is one of the hardest questions I've ever.
You're welcome.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's weird because like
he's a figure, and I'm sorry, just it's
it's nothing. Like one of the reasons I said I live in Arizona is because it's a weird place to live because we have like an equal influx. Like we are a purple state, as purple as it gets. So I am like exposed to a lot of opinions here, and so I'm comfortable talking about him, and I don't like have derangement because I wouldn't be able to like wake up and live here.
Yeah.
At the same time, not only have I always found him disgusting, and I'm 43. This guy has gone through like 4 iterations in my lifetime. So he was like a smarmy book salesman, like Art of the Deal, and like then he became. I didn't even follow him past like apprentice shit, but stuff. Excuse me. But the one thing I will say is that I've always thought he's got a really like he eats McDonald's and he's like big and flabby and like so the like I don't really want to do that with like anyone. So it's like you really picked like even if I didn't care about his politics or his personality, just like that body and like what he eats and how I would imagine his hygiene habits are not great. He also hates everything foreign, so he would God forbid he uses a bidet. He's definitely a like clam it up toilet paper, like probably mashing. There's probably a lot of hairs and dingleberries. Yeah, I'm saying all this too. This is why I'm giving my answer of I love my right leg and I love my sight. I'm an author. I am an author. I think
You're right. Have death is permanent. Your right leg's gone.
I think I don't know. This is the hardest question. Can I make you answer it first and then copy your answer? I think I'd lick his. I think I'd go for.
I'll try to answer this. I don't know. I've been given my rules, which I don't like to fall back on. I don't have to, but I'll try. I'll try answering this garbage because this is bad.
Now you know how I feel.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it on my screen like they're staring at me. Maybe if I am completely blackout drunk.
Yeah, that's
and I have whatever torturers are making me do this. God.
I mean, I have a bad left ankle. Like I've had it since childhood, and it comes and goes. So when you said like losing a leg, like that really speaks to me because like blind sucks. Like all the other two, like the half, but the like not walking comfortably and stuff is like a real big issue. Like this is a great question. Well, great.
Well, yeah. Even if you could like replace the right leg in some type of artificial way, that would suck. Because I like to run. Yeah. I like to dance. I don't like to. Yeah. Okay. For the mere fact that I will lose the ability to dance and see color, I'm going to pick Donald Trump. God.
And I copy your answer.
Okay, cool. We got through it.
If you ever do another version of that, I would love to know whether like everyone knows or it's filmed or it like because like is that something you get to like lie about or do you have to come public and like what if in the future you become like super famous, you know, and then would that come up? Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, God, yeah, and it's just like I left that part. I did think about that. Would this be filmed or would this be in private? But I left that off because I think that. If this were filmed, that ups it to a point where it's almost unanswerable. I don't know. I feel like this would have to be a private thing. I don't think Donald Trump would even like this himself. Yeah. I mean, well, maybe he would, but that's worse if he does.
Yeah. I was thinking about all this stuff before I was answering it. I was just like, well, did he request it? What kind of... and like, could you request what his diet was for the last 72 hours?
He wouldn't follow it even if you did. Like, if you... Yeah. I'm gonna eat what I want. You can't tell me what I'm going to eat. I can't do an impression. I'm sorry.
I have the best ass. Melania's always asking to lick my ass. And I tell her no. I say no, Melania. There's a lot of other people who want to lick my ass. I can't do impression either, but I definitely think. All right, okay. Next question. Right.
Next question. God, awful. Okay, switching gears. This one's kind of not a call response, but what's it called? Word association thing. So I will say a genre of music, and then name me the first weapon, like type of weapon that comes to mind. Okay, so we'll start with pop. Yeah, gun, pop, cool. Country.
Archery, bow and crossbow. Okay.
Nice. Polka.
Like a fencing stick, an épée.
Okay. Heavy metal.
A mace, like the thing you spin with like spikes on it. Yeah.
A screamo heavy metal.
A lance, like what King Arthur.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, rap and hip hop, I would give two different answers for.
Okay,
Rap,
sorry, rap.
yeah. Rap, I would go with Shotgun Cut Off. And hip hop, I would go with, if this counts, like Lethal Injection, like coming up behind and like, yeah.
Man, good answers. Shoot, I'm running out. Electro pop.
Electropop, that's gonna be, um, I don't even know if this makes sense, but that's going to be death by like audio torture. So you're going to play music so loud that it like blows the eardrums out and you die.
Got it. Death by music or audio.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
music. It could be noise too. But yeah, like what they did in Waco, Texas.
Classic rock and roll.
That's a good old fashioned axe. Just
Okay.
bludgeon.
Classical.
Ooh.
Classical.
I got like needle torture, like maybe like an Iron Maiden, even though that's a heavy metal band, but like an Iron Maiden. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. K-pop.
I got like blow dart.
Blow dart. K-pop. Okay. I can see it actually. Last one. Orchestra.
Like just bludgeoning with a stone, just like
Rock.
yeah, just yeah.
Rock. Stone. Hey, good job.
You're really good at this, dude. Yeah. I could tell when we were on the phone
Nice.
call that you had like an energy and a cool vibe, but like this is actually like just fantastic. Yeah.
Thanks. Cool. I appreciate it. No, it's a bunch of weirdness. Speaking of weirdness, as we always are, would you rather be able to see the future, but you lose pieces of your memory the further you see, or be able to freeze time, but you also freeze yourself so you can't really move your body when you do that, but you're the only one who could think?
I mean, I am obsessed with seeing the future for many reasons. My last novel that just came out is about the world's most famous psychic. I'm obsessed with it because I have weird times in my life where I have successfully felt the future. I've never like seen it or heard it. I just sometimes get this feeling and then I'm right. And I used to keep it to myself and then I started sharing it. And I have enough people who have told me, you're definitely not psychic, and I don't call myself psychic, but there is something to like intuition. Like there is like kind of a like you can kind of see the future coming out. So with all that said, that was a huge preface because I think I'm actually terrified of seeing the future, and it has nothing to do with the memory part. It's that knowing what's going to happen and not feeling like you could change it is a terrible feeling, whereas like thinking something's going to happen and thinking you have agency is a great feeling. So I am definitely going to choose the freezing one, even though it doesn't sound like that useful to me. But it would be really nice. I again keep bringing it up. I have two little kids. When they're just like exhausting you, that would be a great like just rest and then come back with more energy, less of a crabby attitude. So that's actually a cooler skill than I would have thought. But the future one is, I do think about this all the time. I think humans feel like we have predetermination and free will going on at once, and I think you kind of asked it in reverse.
Yeah. No, well explained. Yeah, no, the future one, I was just talking on an episode the other day about this topic with the if is the future set or can we actually change it? And I guess if it's set and because that's the only way you're able to actually to see it. Yeah, there is that feeling of dread of like if I know I'm going to worst case scenario drown tomorrow or something crazy, like you'll take every opportunity to not be near water, but then suddenly an airplane drops a swimming pool on you and everything out of your control makes you sort of die or something like that. So that'd be nerve-wracking. Yeah, so I think I'd pick that too. Even if you take out the losing memory part, there is still there's
Yeah, and there's also the like imagine marrying someone and knowing that they're gonna die like in 10 years, like they're the love of your life, like you still would feel compelled to marry them, but then like every day it gets closer, like almost like a person with a terminal illness and like a countdown to like how long, they can last with whatever they have. It's like a real scary, sad feeling. So yeah, that really got me thinking a lot. The freezing time one actually sounds really relaxing. Like yeah, just restore energy.
It's not, yeah, you're not really messing with anything. You're just freezing things. I think it's good for comebacks. That's my first thought.
That's great. Yeah.
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 My friend, he used to say if I could be any superhero power, I would pick perfect timing. Like in just every like best comment to a girl at the bar, best comment, like he just had like a million examples. And I was like, that's actually pretty brilliant.
Yeah, that's what this would allow him. Like you go to the bar, you walk right up to with all the confidence in the world, freeze, now that I'm here, like I took all that time. You know, like all my friends saw me. The bartender's looking at me. She's looking at me. Now, what do I say?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, like, okay, so it's okay. So it looks, her drink looks to be like this. And it's like, no, don't comment on the dress. Well, maybe comment on the dress. I don't know.
Can you look
You
at
know,
the
like,
person, like, see
yeah,
where she went to college, and then you're like, do a
yeah.
little.
You're just scanning with your eyes. Yeah, 30 minutes later in your time. Zoop. Do you come here often? Like, oh, damn it.
Okay,
They just did the same one. The
here's a
old,
weird thought question for you, because like this is an advanced question within the paradigm, right? But
sure.
let's say you freeze time for 8 hours and stay awake. Does that mean you feel 8 hours more tired than you were at that point, or do you not experience fatigue?
I think you'd have to experience fatigue because if you
Yeah,
want to take the rest, you're gonna like
yeah.
if you want to pause time and kind of rest with your eyes open, so to speak, because your body is freezing. So,
Hmm.
well, I guess you can close your eyes and then freeze, and then like because then your eyes are closed. But you if you want to take a mental because your brain's not shutting off, you would experience fatigue because
Yeah,
yeah,
so there's some
yeah.
limitations to it, like in a weird
Yeah,
way. I can
yeah.
see, yeah.
Like in order to pause with your kids, it'd be like they're jumping around, whatever. You crawl into the couch or the bed, whatever. Put the covers over your eyes, and just like it looks like you've given up. But then 2 seconds later, you pop right up, and you're fully rested, and everyone's like, "Whoa!" You know,
Yeah.
he's taking one of his micro naps. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, here's
Yeah.
another skill too. Say go back to the bar situation. You had like one too many and you regret it, so you just kind of like sit it out, wait, and then you come back out and you're sober again. Like you're
Wow, it'd be yeah,
yeah,
that'd be the weird magic trick.
yeah.
It's a weird cheat. Yeah, or you
Weren't you
like
just slurring and saying weird stuff like?
that was like 5 hours ago.
Yeah,
I'm fine. I had a nap. Y'all, you guys hungry?
yeah. This is boring. We've been here forever.
That's a good one. All right. Okay. Next one, because you're answering these really well, by the way. I appreciate the back and forth, honestly. You're taking them to a place I haven't even thought of. Especially like you're killing some of these questions. And other ones you're just blowing. Like, oh yeah, that's a good answer. Um, would you rather never have to go to the bathroom, eat, sleep, or breathe again to live? Like you don't have to do those things, or have Deadpool like healing to where you'll heal from pretty much any injury.
I don't think there's any second or you could have asked that I would have said that, because not having to go to the bathroom would be the greatest thing I could ever wish for. It would like waking up at night to pee is the most annoying thing in the world. When you're camping, it's so annoying. It like being on a plane with a stupid, because I'm 40, like I was alive before 9/11, so you used to be able to get up on planes and pee. There was no law. Even if you were like on the tarmac, you could just get up and pee. Now like they're gonna like call the the agents and like take you off a plane with duct tape on your face if you like get up and pee at the wrong time. So like I travel enough and I take road trips, and I hate getting up in the middle of the night to pee. And you're much younger than me and you have a long life ahead of you, but trust me, it will happen to you too. It just happens to everyone as you get older. You just have to, especially men. And it's not even like a prostate problem. It's just literally aging, and it is so annoying. So that is the best thing ever. I don't even care about the breathing, eating part. Like, although those things would be nice, just the not going to the bathroom is like the holy grail of all wishes.
Dang. Wow. I mean, okay, I can't say I disagree, but you can be a superhero. Yeah.
I mean, it is so cool, the Deadpool, and it's a great movie, and I laughed like I got it, but I just, you could have said, like, short of like when you're a kid, everyone you want to like you would like you. Like that's the only other like power I could think of that, like as a kid at least, would have been like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Candy falls from the sky and your favorite TV show was on all the time. Yeah.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
something like that. I don't know. Something like that.
yeah, for sure.
Dang it. Oh, dang it. Okay. Yeah, honestly, I agree. But I agree. I agree. Because not being able
But
to go to yeah, I know. I agree with your answer because it's practical. Because like, I'm not really gonna go out and fight crime, or learn how to sword fight. It just means that I can't die crazy, but I can't suffocate because I don't have to breathe. And not going to the bathroom is its own. I have so much time. Not being able to sleep, I have so much time, or not having to sleep. I have so much time to use. So yeah, it's good for
also,
practical.
I used to live in San Francisco most of my life. I'm from like the Bay Area, Oakland, really. But in Oakland and San Francisco, they have such a bad homeless problem that there's no bathrooms. Like not. I used to wear a suit and tie. I was a teacher at a private school, and like no business would even let me use their bathroom. They'd be like, no way, like heroin junkies wear suits and ties in the city. Like you're like no one is allowed to use public restrooms. There's no such thing there. It's and it got worse and worse and worse, and it's even worse now. And it is like, so again, just where I'm from probably has a lot more to do with this answer, but
Gotcha. I mean, currently I'm in Colorado, despite my name, but
yeah,
and
that's fine.
yeah, and there's what's it called? There's bathrooms around, but that reminds me of this one time I was working Amazon. I used to drive for them,
Wow.
and like when you were there, you heard stories of the peeing in bottles stuff and everything.
Yeah, totally.
I avoided that if I could, but that's real. And there one time I was
Wow.
driving and like I was in the suburb area, and this house has just miles of houses of just spiraling houses. How do you even get here? You're in the middle of a house maze, and I had to go to the bathroom. And I saw this what's it called, like an elementary school, and I'm like, oh, I drove into it, went off the route, and I went and parked. I was like, can I use your bathroom? And like they were nice enough to even let me in, because I'm an adult at a
Yeah.
elementary school in a strange
Yeah.
neighborhood.
With
Yeah.
a van.
Here we are with the big van. Luckily, we had the Amazon branding by that point. When
Oh,
they
cool,
started
cool.
when they started off, when I was working for them, they didn't have the branding. Actually, they were just driving U-Haul trucks, and we looked like, so it was even weirder. They had white, like sometimes we have yellow or white U-Haul trucks that were like brandless. That was creepy.
That is creepy.
Luckily, by this moment, we had the brand trucks, and I had the brand thing to wear. So they were like, okay, we know who he is. And they let me in. Those bathrooms are so small. I mean, they're for kids, obviously. But I had the realization, like, wow, these are really, yeah.
Do you have a strong opinion about, because a lot of people, especially in our demographic, have like strong opinions about Amazon, like they're the devil, they're the best thing ever. Do you have any opinion that changed because you worked for them?
I don't know. My opinion on Amazon's complicated because they were, okay, when I worked for them, I was more working for a guy I knew who owned a trucking company who leased it to Amazon, and we were his drivers. So he was like my boss, my direct supervisor, and he worked for Amazon. And so the buck kind of stopped with him, and I always viewed myself as working for him. His trucking company, Amazon Vehicles, he was leasing it out to. So I didn't really feel like I was part of Amazon. I felt like I was a part of this guy's trucking company. And Amazon themselves weren't really directing me to do things. I wasn't working in the warehouse like some of the other people were doing. So, so that's why I say my viewpoints, my view is complicated on them. And when I started, was I was a delivery driver, it was very new. It's when they just started delivering packages. It was just, and they were using UPS to supplement them delivering when they first started too. Yeah, they were kind of just a really tough but fair company to me
Yeah.
personally. And even though they would overload people with work and the ping and bottle things was real and all these other jobs, I've had worse jobs than them. So
Mhm.
they're not the devil to me. I've had devilish jobs, and so they're not the
Yeah.
worst to me. Yeah, and as where
That's
they are
great.
now with Bezos and everything, it's kind of just yeah, I think they're someone's going on strike for Amazon, but I don't know why. I haven't looked into it too much. I heard they're in some hot water for doing something to their employees again. So for people who work there now, my condolences. I hear they're not the best place to work right now. When I was there and I was a driver, it was tough, but I had super worse, so it wasn't that bad to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a long
No, that was a
explanation.
great answer. That was very interesting. I actually tracked with all of it, and it is also interesting to me that it's just always going to be a law of comparisons. Like your whole life is just like, is this worse or better than my own experiences? And that's a great way to explain that. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it is. Yeah, and as someone just coming out, like if that was your first experience in the workforce, yeah, that's tough. It's a tough one. Yeah, Amazon, it was no walk in the park. I'll definitely say that. Yeah,
Cool. Thanks.
man. Yeah, no, thank asking me that. So I have two last ones I want to ask because we're running out of time. One of them is raunchy, of course, and one of them is like an actual, more philosophical type question. Which one do you want to tackle first?
We'll do raunchy first, end with philosophy.
Okay. Would you rather have a 25-inch penis or have a sword-like shaped have a sword-like shaped penis that feels great for you, but painful and sort of deadly for anyone who use it on?
This is a terrible question, and I mean that with a compliment, but like, This is definitely a never. I mean, this is wow.
Sorry.
Trump was harder technically, but only technically.
Okay.
I would have answered this question differently depending on the age I'm at, but since I've had children and I've used my member, because at 25 inches, I mean, that's just like sounds horrible. I mean, that just sounds like where do you store it? Like, what kind of jeans am I wearing? Like, am I double wrapping? Do I have to tie it around my waist? Like,
it's 2 feet. It's
yeah. Like, yeah, and I love the art. Like, your questions are just, there's such a good details. Like, as a writer, that's such a great question because you didn't just say like a really big, like they're like, I'm actually thinking about logistics. And then the sword thing reminds me of cats, because cats actually have that. They like, that's why when cats have sex, it's the worst noise you've ever heard in your life. It's because the male penis on a cat is barbed and it hurts the feline. And this is like, if you've ever lived in a crappy apartment area, which I have, like in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, you'll hear cats having sex. It is the worst noise ever. It is so like unbelievable.
Never seen or heard cats because it's typically so private. At least I don't see them doing that.
No, it's only alley cats. You have to live in like a neighborhood where people don't care, and like Pittsburgh was just, at the time I lived there, it was just a lot of like stray cats and alley cats. And alley cats, it sounds like rape, and I think it is called rape, but it's also like necessary for the species. So like, there's actually a lot of
That's crazy. That's crazy. Cats rape each other to survive. Like that's part of the plan.
Like, yeah, it's not consensual from what I understand. Now, people at home, oh my God, like especially zoologists and like veterinarians, I am sure I'm wrong. I'm just going to say that as a blanket statement, but I swear I index books and I read a lot, and I definitely know that they have a barbed penis. That I'm willing to like stake my internet credibility on. And two, I'm definitely willing to say I've heard them having sex. It is the female cat is not having pleasure. Beyond the allegations of rape, I'm going to go ahead and give like a softer approach to, and I'm going to say, I believe based on how the contextual use of that word could be used, you could call it that. I wouldn't say it has any sort of the implications it does in our modern human culture with a brain on a brain that thinks. And so it has nothing to do with like power and, the dynamics we learn in society. So
yeah. Gotcha.
Am I cool? Have I been canceled even though I'm not big enough to be canceled yet? There we go.
Mike's against cats.
Yeah.
Kill him.
So I'm choosing the sword penis. I'm choosing the one that is more comfortable to carry. And I guess my wife just leaves me, or like, I'd be like, hey, we have kids.
Oof.
Or don't leave me.
I did not see that coming. The sword penis one is like, I think there's an insect, there's like a lice type or whatever that has like a sword like penis or whatever, and it kills, when they reproduce, they kill the other with it. So I forgot where I got that. I think College Humor had like a educational cartoon mock video, but this was like this is actually a real thing that they just wanted to make a video of because it was so messed up. And so they made a real little cartoon of it, and there's this mosquito-like thing that lands on your head. It's like lice, and when they reproduce, they sword kill the female thing,
this show,
gender. But
this is raunchy. I can say things that are not PG.
Sure.
So there's two questions I have, two follow-ups. With the 26-inch model, one, what does it mean when you tell someone just the tip? That's my raunchy joke. And two, wouldn't that also probably kill most people? Like, I don't know, because you didn't specify girth. So yeah, I'm like...
Yeah, the thing, you have to leave some things to the imagination. I mean, okay. Oh God. Yeah, I don't know what we're walking down, but okay. If you take the question as it's the same member that you currently have in your body, and you're just pulling it to a length of 25 inches, then you're working with the girth you have, and you just have a long 25-inch member, which is still crazy, no matter what diameter we're talking about. So I think it's more becomes novelty. I don't think there's no way that's fitting. Like it is always it's always.
I'm switching my answer then. I'm taking novelty. I get it now.
You're taking novelty? All right.
Yeah, I'm taking novelty.
Wrapping it into your pants or something?
Because you're just not really going to have a good sex life with either. So now that I get that,
Yeah, you're not going to feel nothing. Yeah. The sword ones, at least you're having fun. But okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna move past that one. Sorry, I'm gonna invoke the second thing. I'm gonna move past for myself. Sorry.
Fair enough. Okay. Fair enough.
Last question. It's actually split into two parts, so kind of lied on that. But what is the last thing you would like to hear before you die? And conversely, what was the last thing you ever want to hear before you die? Like the worst thing.
The last thing I want to hear before I die, it's if I have to like make it more specific, I can, but I want to hear whoever is left in my family just saying I love you. Like that's what I would like to hear. So whether it's all of my children and my wife, or my brother and my, like I don't know how it's going to shake out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't trade for ESP and but so that would be, and then what I don't want to hear. Actually, this is like a really weird crossover answer. I have one reoccurring dream that I can't stand, and I've had it my whole life, and it's that I'm in an airplane crashing into the ocean, and people are panicking, and I just keep trying to get everyone to calm down. I'm like, we're all gonna die. Could we just relax, close our eyes, and meditate and die? Like, why are you screaming? Like, screaming for help is gonna do nothing. What, you think like a shark underwater is gonna hear you guys say help? Like, you're using our oxygen, you're making everyone have a worse time, you're raising my cortisol levels. I'm just trying to die. Like, I already got this plane ticket, I'm on the plane, we felt it descending, that was freaky enough as it is. Like, why are we screaming? So that's a reoccurring dream, and so that is the sound I do not want to hear when I die. I don't want to hear people panicking and screaming. Like, even if I was at like some horrible mass murder situation, like I still would just be like, why scream? Like, what good does that do you? Just die like peacefully, close your eyes and say whatever mantra you learned in that meditation class 50 years ago, and just please be quiet. So that is my answer. Great question.
That's a great answer. You're interrupting my death?
Yeah, just like,
So I've never heard that. I mean, on one hand, I get it. On the other hand, it's like, what? Natural response to fears. They're freaking out. I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying. I do. Don't freak out. We're just
I'm
gonna
not a
die.
screamer.
We're just gonna die. Shut up. I get you've accepted it, and they're like yelling.
well, in that situation, I've
Boy.
accepted it. Obviously the
Yeah.
dream is indicative of the fact that I've anything but accepted that. So
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, there's no better place to end it. Get it? But thank you, audience, for listening to this episode. 1,000 Crazy Questions. I appreciate your emails, Instagram, whatever, feedback, and comments. Please rate the podcast if you find it. It helps a lot. And want to hand over the spotlight to you, Mike. Is there anything you want to plug or tell listeners in general?
yeah, if you enjoyed my weird personality, I do a bunch of eclectic stuff. It's all on one website, and it's my name, Mike Oppenheim, but I truncated it. I shortened it to MIKEYOPP.com. If you head over there, there's a subscribe link. You'll get one email a week. It's got either an essay, a nonfiction story, it's got podcasts and other stuff in it, and it's just different every week, but that is the only thing I am selling. And other than that, I just want to throw it back to you and just say thank you. This is like, keep doing this. Just keep doing it. Can tell you from experience, when you have something that's perfect for you, which you do, this show, just keep doing it. You're magnetic, you're magnanimous, your questions are insane and interesting, you're very natural, you're not like faking this enthusiasm. You're doing an awesome job, and this was an exhilarating experience. I cannot wait to show this off to anyone who's not under 18.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's very nice. Yeah. And audience, want to tell you, go over there and support Mike. Sign up for that newsletter, and check out everything he's doing. Everyone, have a great rest of your day or night. Don't know when you're watching this. Rate the podcast, helps a lot. Share this with your friends. Share this with your enemies. Everyone, stay safe. Bye.